Hey, it's Sort of Past coming at you with a quick update on collection number 1 Gears updates. So I've been waiting for this, as I know a lot of Gear Chronicle players have been waiting for this update since last spring, especially Ribble, right? Because we want to multi-attack more so, have more resource advantage. But we finally got it. We finally got the stuff. First of all, I commend Bushiroad for the print. Triple R, like printing for the entire set is just really phenomenal. So the first thing I did was really just swap out and put in, put in the bling bling because it looks really good. So as you guys know, I play Jet. I'm really happy with some of the modifications in here, and you'll see those as we go along. So Jet, it's predominantly a Force 1 deck, but you definitely want to pack some Force 2. And whatever quick shield you want, I put mine in from my Vanguard. I haven't really played around much with Sanctuary Guard yet in V, so maybe at some point. So the first is triggers. Let's do it the other way so you can actually see them. I haven't changed anything here. 8. Well, I guess I should tell you. So when I reported the tournament that I won last spring, beginning of summer, I actually was running 3 PG draw with 1 critical Sentinel, and then I swapped in one of the vanilla crits for a vanilla draw. It worked okay, but as I went along and was playing it more, I agree more and more with most of the other community that this is pretty optimal. So, yeah, and so that's what I've been running. For grade 1s, we still have Tigger at 4. First ride target is really what you want. We now have Ribble, and we have 8. So the first changes that happened here were that Steam went out, Dog went in, Quickie went out, and Ribble went in. So a few interesting things here. This card, it's not going to get the +5. So that's one of the cons of this card. I actually still like this. You could run this at 1 if you wanted to use Time Leaper to go get this so that you can put a 13K on board rather than just an 8. That would be really good. That's something that you could consider. It is on Vanguard, on Rearguard, just like Steam is on Vanguard or Rearguard. So we lose the +5, but we're able to just hard search in our deck. So this card, you want to make sure you still have, you're going to have your 4 Jets, but you want to make sure you still have enough grade 4s to really make this worthwhile. This doesn't depend on that, but this is, again, only searching off the top 5. So this is the first change I made. You could do 3 and 1 if you wanted to do the little tech piece I was just explaining there. That's a possibility. Yeah. And so the really cool thing about him is you have to show a grade 3 or higher, but when you discard for that cost, you could actually discard one of these or Urkop because they count as a grade 3 for discard effects. So that's pretty cool. And I would say that's why this is really awesome, because of that one thing. If this said you had to discard a grade 3 or higher, I wouldn't necessarily be so happy with that. I probably at that point would run maybe 2 and 2, but it doesn't. This card was made very well. Very happy with that. The next change up was Quickie. This is really the change up we've been waiting for. I really don't need to explain much here. Soul Blast 1 versus Soul Blast 2. That's a con of this card. This card says that you can place any card on the bottom. This card says normal unit. So Quickie was really good also at like cycling and heals. So there's that. But I know I was only running 3 of them because he was so heavy costed, but I am running 4 of her because she allows us to gain another attack. And so I went down on a grade 2, as you'll see in numbers, and put her up to 4. So, yep. Pretty easy. And if you're trying to get into Gears, all of these came from Collection 1. This entire suite, Collection 1. which is really awesome. Plus, you get the PG too. The PG came from Collection 1 as well. So there's that. And then for grade 2s didn't really change much. You still have Smoke. You definitely need Smoke. Smoke was not reprinted along with Steam. And I get that because they're really having us try to use a different theme, but you're still going to want this. This card is just so amazing. When it attacks, it gets the +5. If you're on a... Yeah, if you rode a grade 4. If you rode a grade 4. If you're on a grade 3 because you've used next stage and you're now on grade 3, it's still going to get the effect because you did ride a grade 4 that turn. But you're going to Soul Blast 1. When it attacks Vanguard, it's going to get +5 at the end of battle. If you rode a grade 4, you can Soul Blast 1 and draw a card. If your Vanguard is Chronojet Dragon, when you would discard a card, any card can be discarded as a grade 3, which is really, really awesome, right? For that superior ride, superior stride, as we like to call it. And then we've got Urkob. Urkob is the Counterblast 1, discard a card to give your Vanguard a extra drive check. It would be really awesome if you could give any unit drive check, right? That would have been really cool. But you can discard this as a grade 3, which is awesome because it helps pay for not only the superior ride of grade 4s, but also for Lost Gear Dog 8. And then lastly, and I take that back, I think I went down on a grade 4 here because I see that I've got 4. So I went down on a grade 4 to put in 4 Rebel, at least for now. But this card definitely could be at 3F. But I really like this card. I really was underestimating Zayed. It's pretty cool. So Steam Gunner Zayed, he's a Vanguard Regard effect, which makes him amazing already. When placed, Soul Blast 1, discard a card from your hand, draw a card, so you're going to cycle a card, choose one of your opponent's regards with grade less than or equal to the grade of the card, discard it from hand for this cost and retire it. So let's just stop right there. This reminds me of Strobosphere, I believe was the name of the card. I was running that last spring in a pair, and so this card really brought in that effect. It brought in Strobe's effect plus the next ability, which is auto when it attacks, not when it hits, but when it attacks. If you rode a grade 4 this turn, you Soul Charge. This card basically brought together Strobe's ability and Naboo's ability in terms of being able to Soul Charge. Now, we got to stop and think about this. This guy's going to stay in play. He's going to Soul Charge and then just stay on the board as an intercept, which is cool. There's another cool reason for that. It actually creates a target for your opponent to consider attacking into, rather than just swinging hard into your Vanguard. So this creates a little bit of a problem for your opponent. It's nice that it can continue Soul Charging, which is Naboo's just a once, because she goes into Soul. She basically Soul Charges that way by putting herself into Soul. The nice thing about her is she then makes you, or she has you draw a card. And so instead of having a card on field as an interceptor, with Naboo, you're getting that card into hand. And it could be a PG. It could be a heal trigger because maybe you need a lot of shield. It could be virtually anything. But there's an advantage to this. Yeah, it's RNG. The Soul Charge is also RNG. But you know that this is going to be stuck on the table as an intercept, causes a problem for your opponent. It's pretty cool. So, and there's another reason why this just totally replaces Naboo, in my opinion. Yeah, so, and we're going to get to that here when we talk about combos. So that's where we're at there. Again, 3 or 4. Sometimes I play with 3 or Cobb. I just think it's just so pressuring, and the fact that you can discard it as a grade 3, really a 4 of, and then this is kind of a no-brainer here. So, yeah. I call this Ribble's big brother, and you'll see why here in a second. This card needs no introduction in this video. You run the 4. That's your grade 3. That's your grade 3 that you're going to run. So he's really the purpose of the deck, is Jet. Along with a starter. Don't run any other starter, unless you're just trying to troll. Next up, grade 4s. The other key piece of the deck, other than him, is going to be next stage. Next stage is great. Next stage can really only fire off well if your opponent is at grade 3. So this is not necessarily going to be your first superior ride into a grade 4. If your opponent went first, absolutely, because then you're both at grade 3. But if you went first, this is not ideal. And so in steps our new friend, which has really replaced Metallica Phoenix to a certain degree. Metallica Phoenix is really nice because Metallica Phoenix is a triple drive, just right off the bat. You Akrab, it's quadruple drive. And so I still really like this card. It's still something to consider in your building. And then Rebellion, of course, is just can be a really good finisher. However, it's only going to be 3 attacks. And yeah, I'm trying to maximize the attacks in the deck. So there is that. Okay. So let's talk about Time Leaper. Let's talk about our new dragon here. And I'm running it at 2 right now. Interdimensional Dragon Time Leaper. So auto Vanguard. When it attacks a Vanguard, put a rear guard on the bottom of your deck, so something that's in play, right, on a rear guard circle. Search your deck for up to 1 card with grade equal to the card put on the bottom of your deck for this cost grade +1. So you put a 1, you get a 2. Call it to a rear guard circle, shuffle your deck, and that unit gets +10. So this is going to give us an extra attack on first grade 4 superior ride, or any. But what I'm talking about here, why I really like this card, is if you went first and you're on grade 3, your opponent's on grade 2, you're still going to be able to do this. And you're going to be able to pressure really, really hard. I think this card belongs here. I think this card belongs in Rebellion. If you want to build and work with the Mellum up clutch, not as efficient, you're not getting everything that you want, sure, that can work there too. But in my opinion, Fang and Jet are really reign supreme for V premium gears. So this card, we're going to see a combo, which is pretty cool with this card, which is pretty amazing. So yeah, I'm currently at 5 grade 4s instead of 6, which is what I was running, or tend to run. I go between 5 and 4. So let's look at some combos here. Let's say you're on that, and maybe you got lucky. This is your first ride target, right? So you can draw. And maybe you took some damage. Okay, and you rode on him. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just shuffle the deck up so we can start giving ourselves some damage. Start doing some combos here. But this really is the optimal write-up. The optimal write-up, right? So we can start with comboing off on him, actually. So I'm going to keep the deck over here just so I can search for a few pieces. But let's say we took this damage. Let's put the damage on the side that we're normally used to. And so we're going to counterblast, and we're going to discard. Well, I'm going to show you the optimal discard here. So you're going to discard her. So you discard her. He's going to get, I'm sorry if that gives a little feedback there. I'm trying to work on that. It gives us a +1 drive. And then when this card is discarded from hand during your turn, Soul Blast 1. So you're going to Soul Blast. Okay. And then even if you didn't have anything here, even if you didn't have a card here to target her, you're going to Soul Blast, and then it says call this card to R, and this unit gets +5. So you're going to call this to R, and you're going to get +5. And not only that, you're going to put a card on the bottom of your deck, you're going to draw a card. Okay? So the card you lost to him, by discarding, you're going to draw, get that back in your hand, plus you're going to get her as an attacker. It's pretty sweet. So attack, drive check, attack. So that is an optimal, very much a optimal grade 2 turn. Okay? So you have that. Maybe your opponent attacks this, who knows? But